Hey, this is Fred Roumbanis and you're watching In the Rod Box. I want to share with you some of my summertime tactics. Here's the thing. If you go back and look at my tournament results and tournaments I win, most of them are right at the end of May. Here we are coming into Labor Day weekend. There's something to do with that. It's also my son's birthday, and there's something to do with winning that time of the year. But a lot of my winnings have come from right now till August. And I think it's just because it fits the style of fishing I like to do. There's a lot of changes that go on this time of the year. If you're a shallow water guy, it's time to pick up that frog. It's time to pick up that swim jig and fish shallow. Look for cover, look for bluegill, look for, a lot of those bluegill start bedding in those areas where the bass had already spawned. And those are the areas where those big females will be kind of lurking around, just grabbing a bluegill. The trick with those kind of fish is when a bass goes to eat a bluegill, he may not eat for the next day or two. So you need to get them when they're on the feed. A bluegill is a hardy bait fish and it takes a little bit longer time for them to digest. So keep that in mind. So you may go back to that area several times before you pick up one of these big fish. It's just a timing thing when they feel like they're ready to eat again. The other thing is you go to some of these river lakes where there's ledges, particularly in Tennessee. It's time to move off the bank. It's time to go out and start picking up your crankbaits and your swim baits and your big worms and your big jigs and go deep. Look for those ledges. And the real key factor to this time of the year is current. Check the TVA schedules, find out when they're going to start pulling water. The easiest thing that I can say is when you're running down the lake, get as close to one of the marker buoys as possible and just see if the water's flowing by it. If it's not, then you're going to need to think, slow down, slower presentation. If the water starts moving, put on your 7-3-to-1 cranking rod. I use my iRod crank launcher and a fast reel. You can go 6-3-to-1, but I'm getting that crankbait and I am burning it as fast as I can. And that's what's triggering those fish because the bait's moving. Once you get current, everything starts to activate. And while it's slow and they're not really activated, turn that hydro wave on. That will kind of stimulate the school and the feeding process for the fish when it's slick out and calm and no current. Just a couple little tips there. And one of my favorite things to do is get out first thing in the morning and look for that topwater bite. Look for that I'm a skimmer topwater, your buzzbait bite or something like that, and get ready for 1 or 2 big bites and then go have fun the rest of the day. That's Summertime Tactics with Boom Boom, and you're here with In the Rod Box. Get a Limit Outdoors.
Get a Limit Outdoors, sponsored by Rigid Industries LED Lighting, Cigar, always the best, Legend Boats, Scent Lock, Bill's Marine, Muddy Outdoors, Brothers in Arms Game Calls, Lowrance, Find, Navigate, Dominate,